Camilla was the, let us say, the leader for the 2007 activities. And she really broke new ground. She brought her expertise to bear, and we were able to organize so many activities. It was never done in the history of the disability movement in Guyana. We had rap sessions, we had our march, we had more persons than before. We interacted with senior government personnel, we visited the business places, we got good responses from them, we visited the police. It was really good, and she taught us how to conduct meetings, how to strategize, how to set our objectives, and what to do to achieve those objectives. So Camilla she really made an impact.
The major outcomes I've observed so far is that the disabled people's organizations are becoming more strategic in their actions. If before they would plan a training, let's say for a group of persons with disabilities, it would be a one-shot training that will not have any follow-up actions or sustainable gain. They would train, let's say, in sensitization on disability issues. And they would not be able to monitor how that is being practiced. And now, the disabled people's organizations are planning like follow-up visits or a more sustainable campaign for the rights of persons with disabilities. Primarily in organizational development, I help them in developing strategy plans so that if, for example, they have concrete goals, they know what they want for persons with disability. They know the rights that should be fulfilled. They know who should be delivering what services to the persons with disability. Except currently, they're not very keen on planning specific activities to get to that target. And that is what I try to facilitate when I meet with individual disabled people's organizations. In advocating for the rights, they are looking into how to approach government agencies, for instance, to provide the services to persons with disability. They are preparing more effectively before going into a negotiating table with government officials. So they're seeing themselves as being part of that greater disability movement in Guyana. They're seeing the bigger picture, they're seeing the greater cause than their own individual organization's advancement.
She taught me a lot. She taught me to believe in myself. She was the type of person that would say, if she says to do something and you would say, man, I don't think I can. She'd say, you can, you do it, call me, and you're gonna, especially if it's writing work. She would say, read, and then if anything, I'll help you along, but I'm not gonna do it for you. She's like that. So that gave me a lot of self-confidence. Everybody wants like the glory. It was like I. But with VSO, they're giving us the various training and these type of things, and also trying to unite us. And we're working with VSO and the council as that body there. We're hoping that we will achieve that unity among DPOs, because we really need it. You can be a leader. You don't have to be on the back burner and always have somebody lead you, but you can take that lead. You can be the one in front instead of the back.
I think they've taught us to question our own selves, to be better than we used to be. It's not that it started with VSO, but I think with VSO we've become better at doing it than we were before. In fact, much better, I would say.
Because I'm blind, I'm blessed by God with a perfect mind. So when it comes...
As a blind person, I felt that I would be able to empathize to an extent with some of the battles and some of the obstacles and challenges faced by blind persons on a regular basis.
I think the gains has been tremendous in terms of motivating blind persons.
I also felt that maybe knowing that I've come from England because I was so passionate and so desperate to travel and to work abroad, that it may give them confidence in knowing that actually they can achieve anything. So if they have a dream, they can achieve their dream, and there should be absolutely no reason that they can't.
You would hear people referring to Lucia as the white girl that came from England that is blind. And that in itself is a whole lot of challenges to people, because here is a blind person that could leave England and come to Guyana and do some voluntary work. And I think that is really motivating to blind persons.
One of my favourite projects I think I've done here is to actually encourage blind people themselves to be advocates for independent living, and actually giving them training to go out there into their own communities and rehabilitate other blind persons and mentor them and encourage them. I think that there is a real lack of education when it comes to the general public. The people really don't understand.
We had quite a lot of difference between the two blind organizations in Guyana. And I think during last year, in the month of May, Lucia did a fantastic job in bringing the two organizations together.
I think it's mainly to do with being neutral rather than being blind. I think in this situation, it's also about being neutral. Maybe the two kind of components go together, the blindness and the neutrality.
She was able to show us that the personality aspect of what we had going for us at the time wasn't really important. The issue that we had to deal with was the most important thing that we had to deal with. And I thought that she did it in such an easy way that it wasn't a problem for us to work together. On the way she gets some knocks, but I think Lucia is tough, she took the knocks and she just keep her head down and keep moving forward. And
the problem with using your own personal experiences is that people come up and say, yes, but you're white, you're from a developed country, you have money, and they wouldn't really understand. And it's because my own personal experiences caused a lot of tears, a lot of sadness, a lot of frustration. I don't really want to have people saying those kind of things to me.
Lucia is the one who really taught me how to use the net the way the blind persons will do, using the control commands from the keyboard.
People have very few opportunities to actually show what they can do. Disabled persons don't have jobs, so therefore they can't show. It's harder for them to show what they can actually do.
Being able to have access to the internet has opened a new world for me in terms of sending and receiving emails, and that is crucial to the type of work I do here. Also doing research and even reading my newspapers.
Sensitizing the business community in this country that, not because somebody lost the sight that they can't work, and I think the major hurdle that we have in our way is to, see in the next 5 years a certain percentage of blind persons employed.
If you are a blind person in Guyana, you may not realize that you can give so much to other blind persons in society.
Lucia came up here to Bartica and she visited our community-based rehabilitation. And me and Lucia went out and we met about four other people.
Many blind persons in Guyana live at home and they stay at home most of the time.
I know now how to move about. If it wasn't for Lucia, I would have never knew how to come out and meet my friends, go to the market and shop and these other things.